trying to help your kids, correct? You think you're trying to help your kids. But the reality is, the first thing people do with their kids is they put pressure on their kids so they look better. So what they're really doing is they're imposing control on their kids to feed their own ego. That's what they want to do. So how many of you had parents who pushed you to achieve? Right? Full force. So how did it feel? Right? But see, you're a kid, so so here's the deal. Here's where this goes down a bad road. As kids, what do we want from our parents? We want approval. We want our parents to say, you're great, which they're never going to do, by the way. Well, most. If you find one that does, please call me, because I want to start some kind of a bulletin board in my house. I haven't found too many that say, by the way, you're great just for breathing, Anisha. I'm glad you're here, right? That's not happening. So now, because we get this pressure growing up, like be an athlete or you have to be good in school or whatever it is that you have to do. So now we have all this pressure. So that's control. Because you're not saying, okay, did anybody have this conversation? You should follow your bliss. Did anybody tell you that growing up? What is it that you like? What is it that you would like to do? How can I help you cultivate your gifts? You ever do that? No, that wasn't happening, right? We didn't. That didn't happen for us. So now I'm a kid. My parents are trying to control me by making me. In effect, I'm trying to mold you into this image that I want you to be. So you know what I can do. So we used to be in the supermarket. We lived in New York, and our son was still young. And I remember we're in the supermarket one day. That's my favorite place. I love the supermarket. I hate all stores, but I love the supermarket. I hate all shopping, but there's something about the supermarket that I find fascinating just to watch what people are doing. And because I just like to see, it's like a socioeconomical whatever experiment, right? You're just watching, sociological experiment of watching people do. So we see this woman, our son was probably 5th grade, 4th grade, and we see her, hey, how are you? And the first thing she said was, oh, my son is in the honors math class. Now, that's not a lead-in for me. I don't know exactly. Is that the lead-in statement you're going to make? What do you mean? So, hey, how are you? Good to see you. By the way, let me tell you how great I am. So, I said, oh, okay. So, it was almost like, how do you respond to that? I said, that's nice. It was almost like you could see it was like she was in the math class. It wasn't that he was in the math class. It was that she. So this is what, people like to brag and people like to do. So this is all feeding ego. But it's designed in a controlled manner, and the parents see it as, this is good for my kids. Now, it's not all bad for your kids, but you have to look at the driver of where it's coming from, right? It's coming from my ego and my desire to control my kids.